Heritage Day celebrates South Africa's rich, vibrant and diverse cultures. People are starting to arrive at the Princess Magogo Stadium, KwaMashu in KwaZulu-Natal, where the Arts and Culture Department is hosting an official Heritage Day event. This year's theme is celebrating our cultural diversity in a democratic South Africa. Our reporters Pule, Letshwiti-Jones and Aviwe Mtila tracking that story for us, and they join us live from there now. Pule, let's start with you. The perfect time to make a point of celebrating our differences other than the other way around.
Yep. You know, Masal, being a South African is honestly about celebrating quite a lot of, elements which would also speak to Heritage Day, such as culture, indigenous music, and of course indigenous games as well. And that's part and parcel of the program today as well, as highlighting indigenous games and of course extensively speaking about the traditional beliefs and customs as well. But most importantly, ensuring that tradition is preserved as well. Joining me right now, I'm going to be speaking to Mr. Melton, of course, who's going to be telling us about the game. Dr. Melton, maybe thank you very much for speaking to us on eNCA. Why are you here today? Tell us about why you're here today.
Ndifano udotamba mutambo wa siarara unowabizofi mufuba. And then mufuba ndi mutambo une wanchaba na sutaratani na batukana na basizana na bukotsi muhulu na makotsi munene zutaratani. Mufuba ndi mutambo une araduchiko utamba uba uchikotamba uri ukono uwina kha muthu ono kotamba naye kha dzikholomo dzine aba kotamba ngadzo ukono ula wewagoma hone khaye huna thoga nga ngomu.
Tell us about the game. Where does it come from?
Nne ndikobva ndi Free State mara nga vuvo ndiva Limpopo nga mushumo ndishuma Free State.
And then how long has this game been existing?
Zwazwino nne ndoswika Free State ndina miṅwaha ya 7 ndichikotamba kha hei team ya mufuva ubva chenda swika hono vana tshanduko dzofambana naho ngori Free State team yove chidzule chiwana position 9 kha mutambo une ndaramba kha wa mufuva, and then zwazwino yono achiever ridzula ri kuwana position 5 or 4 zvikosumbedza uri ndikoshuma zwavhudi nyana.
Well, thank you. As I also speak to you, I want to speak to this young gentleman here. Thank you very much for chatting to us. Also, explain to us, what does it feel, or how does it feel like being a young person and celebrating Heritage Day today?
Okay, first of all, I would like to thank your space to thank me then, but I feel happy playing these heritage sports, which we call indigenous games. I feel happy because indigenous games, which sport I play, is a code of eNCA, because eNCA is more likely the most heritage sport. Yeah.
And then what is it about? What are the rules to play eNCA?
The rules to play eNCA is just to count your moves, to count your piece before you play. Then it's not like you should cheat your opponent, but also there's a technical official who's officiating your game. So you should not cheat while the technical official is looking at you.
And where does the game come from?
The game comes from Limpopo, so that and it came to Free State also. Yeah.
And how many people are now part of this group?
People are part. Okay, we are 15 right now, ne? So, but here we are 8 only. So I also like to introduce this game on primary schools, also at Free State.
And also, you speak about some of the competitions you've entered using this game. Have you been in these competitions?
Yes, I have been in these competitions.
And what have you won?
I just won 3 points because we also have those who are undefeated. Yeah, which province is Limpopo, is the most difficult undefeated.
What would you say should South Africans do when listening to what you're saying right now around these indigenous games? Do you think that they should take them very importantly?
Yes, they should take it very importantly. Yes, because this sports, it needs more your attention, and also you should know how to calculate your moves, because your opponent is also know where you're gonna play before you play. Yes.
And culturally?
Culturally is that you should also know where to play before your opponent knows where you should play.
Thank you very much. Of course, Marcel, there's some of the young people who are joining me right now. And part and parcel of what's happening here today, of course, is about embracing some of those indigenous games that will be taking place here at this particular event. Now we also know that there are, of course, other cultural games coming from as far as from the Limpopo and, of course, Free State villages as well, which will be showcased here as we converge and anticipate for the government officials to send a message around Heritage Day as well. It is quite a great event that is taking place here, and like I said earlier on, no matter our race, ethnicity, language or religion, there is no right or wrong in the way we observe and celebrate Heritage Day.
Okay, Pule Letshwiti-Jones for us there at one end of the Heritage Day celebrations. And now let's bring in our colleague Aviwe Mtila. The official proceedings expected to get underway sometime soon. Aviwe, what's the atmosphere like where you are?
Well, it's colorful, Marcel. That's the one word I think I can best describe. Just the atmosphere here. We're seeing the people come through in numbers. We're told 10,000 will be part of the commemoration of Heritage Day here at Princess Makoko Stadium in KwaMashu. Already we're seeing those dancing, and we're seeing different cultures just converging already. But we're told at 11 o'clock is when the official program is to be underway. We know that it will be officiated by the Sports, Arts and Culture Minister Zizi Kotwa, and we're expecting the keynote address to be delivered by Deputy President Paul Mashatile. But also, as my colleague Pule spoke just now on the indigenous games that will be officially unveiled here. We know that the coming week is those indigenous games that will be played around KwaZulu-Natal. We have His Majesty King Misuzulu Kazwelithini, who will be officially officiating and basically starting off those games just a bit later on at around noon. We have people already on the ground here, and I want to speak to some of the people just on the ground to get a sense of what they're looking for. But thank you for joining us kwa eNCA. Lusuku le heritage lusuku thina lusuku.
Siyabonga kakhulu sibingelele enhlanga nasezantsi neAfrika. Usuku le heritage lana ila kuzoba khona abaholi asibathembayo sizosupporta into enhle yethu yase-Afrika. Lolu suku lusho ukuhlangana nokubungazwa usuku olukhulu lokuthi singabakwantu lokho okusho ukuthi singamaZulu. Siyabonga kakhulu.
Okay, butwam, mangize kuwe butwam, mawukuthiwa uyazinca ngobuZulu bakho kusho ukuthini lokho kuwe?
Ngokwazi ngokwami futhi lokho kusho ukuthi iculture yakho uyayithanda. Everywhere la uyakhona ufika uveza iculture yakho ukuthi wena umZulu or wena uyini. Noma kuthiwa bakakuthatha bakise eGoli kubo uyohlangana beSuthu, wena uzofika ube umZulu ubonakala ukuthi loya umZulu ke loya akabuzwa umZulu yewe.
Okay baba, and yini ofuna uyibona lana namhlanje usuke kuwe kokwenu uthi uzobuka usuku le heritage, yini ofuna uyibona la?
Ngifuna ukubona izinhlanga ezahlukahlukene lapha yana zisine ezinye zigida zenza yonke into ekumele ngabe siyayenza njengoba kuyi heritage. Ngifuna nje kuyoshuba nje lapha.
Uzosigidela na?
Lutho mina nkosami hayi lo ayikhona baba.
Ake kugidela. Siswa lusuku le heritage kusho ukuthini olusuku kuwe?
Ngijabula kakhulu uma ngibona bonke abantu ukuthi sikwazi nathi ukuthi siqhine ukuthi sintwana state.
Nesiqhenya ngobulili le.
Yeah.
Okay, just some of the people that have left their homes in the early morning, Marcel, coming here. They live around KwaMashu. Of course, they want to see the festivities and just taking pride in their Zuluhood, the Zulu nation. We do know this day, if you are to look at just the importance and the significance of it being in KwaZulu-Natal, this year's commemoration held here. It is, of course, Shaka Day. It was formerly known as Shaka Day, and that dates back to the history of celebrating the Zulu monarch, King Shaka Zulu. We do know, of course, that he lost his life on the 24th of September back in 1828, and it's something that has been practiced for decades by the Zulu nation, commemorating this day. But of course, it was 1996 when the IFP actually fought for it formally in Parliament, as it wasn't actually added into the public holiday bills that was presented in Parliament back in 1996. Up until the IFP actually fought for it, and today we have now come to know of this day as Heritage Day. And of course, today, significantly, the Zulu monarch, King Misuzu Zwelithini, will be among those dignitaries that are to dignify this event, that will be given the keynote address by the Deputy President, Paul Mashatile. That's the official program. Expected to be underway at 11 o'clock. But of course, a lot of activity, a lot of diversity is what we expect here, and the 10,000 strong crowd that we are told will be part of this year's commemoration.
Okay, and thank you so much for keeping us up to speed there. Our reporters Pule, Letshwiti-Jones and Aviwe Mtila reporting to us live there from KZN, from various legs of government's official Heritage Day celebrations. And we'll bring you more of that as and when it develops.